All right, so tell me a little bit about your background information, like your name, position, school district, and number of years involved with education.
My name is Linda Yabiku. I worked for the Hempfield School District. I taught first grade at Roarstown Elementary School for 31 years. I have a master's equivalency in elementary ed and special education.
All right. And how did you learn about the individualized education program?
When I started as a new teacher, I was given many materials to read about the IEP program. And through the years of my teaching, there were faculty meetings and workshops as new information became available about the IEPs and procedures and more information. We were updated with meetings and workshops.
In your experience, have IEPs been a benefit or a detriment to students in special education, and why?
I think they've been a benefit because it's a team approach to helping the child succeed. It identifies a student's strengths and weaknesses and specifically outlines strategies to help the student succeed, which is what we want children to do.
And being sensitive to confidentiality, share an instance when the IEP and a student's progress needs were not a good fit, and how was it resolved?
I had a boy come from another school district, and when he was enrolled into my classroom, he had an IEP from that other school district. It was for total replacement language arts, which meant he would be receiving special services for most of the morning away from my classroom. After working with him for 1 or 2 months, I realized and I believed that he didn't really need an entire morning of special services. I thought he'd profit more from spending part of his language arts time in my classroom and being with me and with his peers. So I initiated an IST process, which in our school district, that stands for Instructional Support Team, which led to a reevaluation of the child and a new IEP. And we were basically able to rewrite the IEP so that he received special services for only 1 1/4 hours a day instead of 2 1/4 hours a day.
In your experience, to what degree is excessive paperwork a problem in the field of education?
Well, I think it's a big problem in that it's very time consuming and a lot of effort and energy is spent into writing the IEP. However, I think it's probably a necessity in that we need to be able to write down exactly what we want a child to be able to do. Um, and I also think one of the problems is IEPs can be very confusing to parents. Um, I think it's a requirement because you need to have documentation of a student. But advice I'd give to future special educators to deal with it is to stay organized and make sure you are current with all your documentation.
What advice do you have for future special education teachers in regards to collaborating with other professionals during the IEP process?
Well, remember you're part of a team, so work as a team member, stay open-minded to suggestions, offer classroom support to the regular education teacher, and make frequent contact with others on the team about the students that you're working with.
And what advice do you have for future special educators in regards to collaborating with families during the IEP process?
You want to make sure you really listen to parents, family members, their concerns, to their questions. Try to explain things so parents get a clear understanding of what to expect from the school and what responsibilities they may have to help their child. You may want to provide materials if necessary to a parent to help their child and to really show or model what a parent can do with a child, especially if that parent doesn't have any idea of how they can help their child at home.
And what is one thing that most frustrates you about the IEP process and why?
I think the one thing that I've found in my experience is the lack of parent-friendly language when IEPs are written. Many parents are not education savvy and they don't understand educational jargon and are very much confused by what's in the IEP, and often they are just afraid or too embarrassed to ask what things mean. So it's very helpful to be able to explain things to parents in a way that they'll understand.
All right, thank you.